Imagine waking up in the dead of winter. It's 1959. You are on the slopes of Kholat Syakhl. In the local Mansi language, that translates to Dead Mountain. You are freezing. The temperature is 30 degrees below zero. Yet for some reason, you are running through the waist-deep snow without your boots. When the search party finally arrived weeks later, they didn't just find a tragedy, they found a crime scene that defied all logic. The hiker's tent was completely snowed over, but it hadn't been unzipped. It had been slashed open. From the inside, they cut their way out in a blind panic. But whatever they were running from, it wasn't the cold. A mile away by the edge of the woods, they found the first bodies, wearing only their underwear. Further into the ravine, things got worse, much worse. One hiker had a fractured skull, 2 others had major chest trauma, with ribs shattered inward. The force required to cause this damage was equivalent to a high-speed car crash. Yet, there were no external bruises. One woman was missing her eyes and her tongue. To make the nightmare complete, when investigators tested the victim's clothing, they found trace amounts of radioactive contamination. 9 experienced hikers, dead, mutilated, half naked in the snow. For 60 years, people blamed aliens and the KGB. They whispered about military weapons testing, about yetis, about ancient mountain curses. But the truth is much darker and completely scientific. There were no monsters on Dead Mountain that night, just physics and biology. Let's start with the strangest detail. Why were they naked? If you are freezing to death, the absolute last thing you should do is take off your clothes, right? Wrong. There is a terrifying biological phenomenon called paradoxical undressing. As hypothermia sets in, your body panics. It restricts blood flow to your arms and legs to keep your vital organs warm. But as you inch closer to death, the muscles controlling those blood vessels become exhausted. They fail. Suddenly, a massive rush of warm blood floods back into your freezing skin. Your brain short-circuits. It misinterprets the sudden rush of blood as extreme, burning heat. You feel like you are on fire. You tear your clothes off in the freezing snow, desperate to cool down, right before you die. But that explains the cold. It doesn't explain the shattered ribs or the crushed skulls. For decades, avalanche experts said the slope wasn't steep enough for a traditional avalanche. And they were right. But this wasn't a traditional avalanche. It was a slab avalanche. When the hikers pitched their tent, they dug into the snowpack to block the wind. By doing that, they unknowingly cut away the foundation, holding up a massive, solid slab of wind-packed ice further up the mountain. Hours later, as they slept, that slab broke free. It didn't roar down the mountain like a cloud of powder. It slid exactly like a car skidding on black ice, a solid block of frozen earth, weighing hundreds of pounds, moving at terrifying speed. It slammed directly into the tent. This is why the trauma was so strange. The thick sleeping bags and the dense canvas of the tent acted like a terrible kind of armor. It distributed the blunt force across their bodies. It shattered their bones internally, but left the skin unbroken. Trapped in a crushed tent, suffocating, in agonizing pain, they slashed their way out. And the missing tongue, the missing eyes, scavenging animals, the harsh reality of lying dead in a ravine for a month. The radiation, the camping lanterns they used contained thorium, a mundane detail, twisted into a conspiracy. The Dyatlov Pass incident wasn't the work of a secret government agency. It was a perfect storm of freak physics and human biology. A terrifying chain reaction triggered by a single swing of a snow shovel. Nature doesn't need aliens to be terrifying. It doesn't need to be malicious. It just doesn't care. Imagine yourself there, waking up to the crushing weight of the ice, slicing through the canvas, running into the pitch-black 30 below night, knowing that staying means death, but leaving means exactly the same thing. What would you do?